Hey, fourth graders, it's Miss Bruin in the virtual lab. And this week, we are going to be assessing the costs and the benefits of fossil fuels. I know you've been reading up a lot about fossil fuels in general, but we are going to be using a cost benefit analysis to help us figure out whether or not we should continue using fossil fuels for our energy needs. So, as a little bit of a refresher, before we think about the costs and the benefits of using fossil fuels, I just thought we could kind of review what benefits and costs mean, right? So if we're asking ourselves about the benefits and we're kind of weighing out the positives and the costs, which are the negatives, right? We have to ask ourselves, like, what are the good things about fossil fuels? What are the advantages of fossil fuels? And what are the positive outcomes? And when we think about those things, we can't just think about the advantages for fossil fuels, right? We have to think about perspectives, if you remember. So we have to think about, like, what are the good things or the advantages or the positive outcomes for people? But we also have to think about the positive outcomes for the environment. Um, and we could also think about the positive outcomes financially. That's always important. When we think about the costs, we want to think about the disadvantages or the negative outcomes for not only humans, but also the environment. So, the first thing you're going to have to do is mine your sources of information for the pros or the benefits and the cons or the costs of each type of energy. Now, I suggest you set up some kind of a notebook. I've already gone through, I've watched all the videos, I've taken a bunch of notes in my notebook, um, as you can see. And I've also separated out my notebook so that I can keep track of the benefits and costs of each kind of fossil fuel. So you can see here, I've created a list of the benefits and the costs that come with using coal. And as you can see, coal comes with a lot more costs than benefits, according to my research. Now, I could continue looking for other sources. We talked about how important it is to have a bunch of sources that scientists back. What you're going to do this week is you are going to go through the same sources of information that I've read through, and you are going to think about the benefits and the costs of coal. I'm sure you can find a few more. You're going to think about the benefits and the costs of oil, and you are going to think about the benefits and the costs of natural gas. Make sure that when you're collecting this information, you do it in your slideshow, in a handwritten notebook, a science notebook, or on a piece of paper, and turn it in with this week's assignment. In fourth grade, as you read through the videos and as you read through the articles, I know you may have some of your own ideas going into it, but really look at the information and push yourself to uncover the advantages and the positives, as well as the disadvantages and the negative outcomes for both people and for the environment. Thanks for listening and good luck.